Welcome back to the Soul Aligned Network private podcast. I'm your host, Chris Madrigal, and today I am joined by T Dohrer, a wellness coach who is transforming the way that we think about health and aging. She specializes in regenerative health and age reversal, which I'm really interested in learning about. And she's guiding people to really unlock their body's innate ability to heal and thrive. So, welcome, T. I'm excited for this conversation today and really this whole idea of age reversal.
Well, thank you for having me. I am super excited. And who doesn't want to age in reverse, right? I mean, it's incredible.
It is. And I think out of everything that I've read about you and heard about you and the work that you do, I think those two words are the ones that just kind of stand out the most because, like you said, who doesn't want to know about this, right? So, before we get into that specifically, I'd love to just hear from you a little bit about your journey. Just really give us a little glimpse into what led you to regenerative health and this unique approach of slowing or stopping and even reversing this age process.
Oh, perfect. I'd love to. Decades ago, that's one of the reasons why I love aging in reverse because I'm narrowing the gap between then and now.
I love it.
But um, years ago, I suffered a severe trauma to my pancreas. And it actually, for those who aren't aware, your pancreas has two functions. One side is the function of the insulin production. The other side is the enzymes to digest your food production. And so the side that produces enzymes, it stopped working for me. And I was very, very sick. Like I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't keep anything down. And so back then I had not learned about alternative medicine or nutritional supplements or anything. I was young and stressed out, and literally the stress was showing up in that area that was really weak in my body. And so I that journey led me to, traditional medicine, and there were, testing and all of those kind of things. But it worked for a little bit. They gave me a prescription for digestive enzymes and told me to be on a bland, easy to digest diet. So, like, they sent me home saying you can eat oatmeal and mashed potatoes and just mostly carbohydrates that had no nutritional value, and maybe some eggs or whatever. They were like, but take these enzymes because your body's not producing them. And so I did that for a while. And I don't know, maybe, 5 or so years before was invited to a alternative health workshop where I learned about the body's healing power when you give it the tools that it needs to heal itself, and how food can be healing and things like that. And so my journey to wellness just took on a whole new look. I left traditional medicine in the dust, and my first testimony, and Monique and we talked about this, that I was started to become known as the poop queen. I talked to everybody about pooping because when you don't know that you need to go 2 or 3 times a day, if you eat 2 or 3 times a day, and then you start going every day, and that hasn't been your norm, your life changes. You feel better when you eliminate all of the things that you should eliminate every day. And so I got really excited back then about talking about proper elimination and helping people to realize what that would look like for them. And so I just kept building and building and building on over decades with nutritional supplements. And then almost 2 years ago, my friend Jackie, who I knew all during those decades with nutritional supplements, she shared with me about this incredible technology to utilize your own body's light to activate healing mechanisms and heal and actually regenerate and reverse all of the dis-ease of aging, or just, you don't have to even have dis-ease. You can just want to live well longer and age in reverse from whatever spot you're at, when you join. And initially I was like, Jackie, that's sounds too good to be true. What are you doing? When she was sharing testimonies, and she's like, you got to try it. And so that started my journey on wellness and healing. And I just want to share. Usually I have it on my neck, but this incredible patch, this sticker
Uh-huh.
is miracles. It's generating miracles for me and everyone that comes in contact with it.
Oh gosh, now you have me intrigued. So you're gonna have to share a little bit more about this. So why don't we just kind of start there with this specific patch? Like, what does it contain, and what does it do for the person?
So it's non-transdermal for those people who are familiar with the other kinds of patches that hormones or nicotine or those kind of things. This literally just has some crystals and lattice, just organic material. But the magic of it is it utilizes your body's energy, hits it, reflects it back into your body, and it signals your body to increase the production of GHK-Cu copper peptide. That peptide is incredible. And what the increase of the peptide does is it activates new healthy stem cells in your body.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the stem cell process. So I know you've talked about in your work that, well, this that you just said, that it stimulates the stem cell production naturally. So many of us, or at least me, I'm familiar with the stem cell process, like what we hear, the injections
Mhm.
or procedures. But what does it actually look like to do this naturally?
It looks simple and easy and comfortable. For me, I would never go and get an injection anywhere. Like, it's becoming a little bit more common in the US now, but used to, you had to cross the border and you had to pay a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, but there's no guarantee. So, I would never dabble into injections, but applying this patch every day and wearing it for 12 hours and signaling my body to activate new healthy stem cells and send them to wherever it thinks is the most important place for them to be at that time. To me, it's like a no-brainer. Like, for example, I called Dr. Picard the father of copper peptide. He actually has did over 50 years of research. This book, I kind of use it like my Bible, because I can tell you how he researched the benefits of increasing your copper peptides, activating your stem cells. And he found that in mice, for example, it stopped the growth of tumors, and the tumors went away in mice. In his research, he found that your brain neurons functioned and your brain started working better. He found that your heart not only started working better, but in 6 months, your heart will reverse in age 8 years.
Okay, so I'm
And
going to stop you right there because
sure.
I'm interested in knowing, like, how does that happen? We all want to know the how. And I mean, you've talked a little bit about it, but what does that process actually look like? Okay, so we put on a patch and then it starts to activate things in our body. I don't know the right way of saying it, but
Yeah.
how does the age reversal process work? Like even for the heart that you just mentioned. Let's just use that as an example.
So, I don't know if, a lot of people aren't aware. I wasn't aware, but so as we age, the amount of new healthy stem cells that are circulating through our blood cell and being generated decreases significantly. So by the time we hit 30, the amount of those has reduced 60%.
Oh, wow.
And then by age 50, it's 75% reduction. And so it just keeps on. And that is how we kind of refer to the aging things being normal. People accept some of the things that they see in people as normal. But for me, no way. Like, I'm not going to accept slowing down and not having enough energy or not sleeping good or looking old and wrinkly if I don't have to. Like, I'm not going to go have injections in my face or anything. And I have nothing against that for other people.
Right.
I'm not a needle person. I'll do anything to avoid a needle, like, for me. But
Right.
so if I can do one thing and it's so simple, the hardest thing is remembering to put it on and take it off 12 hours later. Like,
Mm.
when you get busy. But once you get in the habit, it's just like brushing your teeth. You don't forget to brush your teeth every day. You sometimes wonder, did I do it? And then you do it again just to be sure, because, it's just a muscle memory thing you do all the time. But once you get in the habit, and then if you do miss a day, you're like, oh, how come I don't feel quite as zippy and peppy or spunky as normal? You're like, oh, I forgot to put on my patch. And so then the next day you just put it on. But I like how simple it is. I like the fact that I don't have to have a dis-ease name for my body to start regenerating. Like, I can have something that I know about or not, but my body's going to start producing more collagen. It's going to start, I mean, the day that you put it on in the first 24 hours, 4,190 genes, new healthy genes, are generated by our body. That's how our organs function better, because instead of having 60-year-old genes and only, 75% of what we should have. Now we're rejuvenating new healthy ones that are 1 day old or 5 days old, not 29 years old or 52 years old.
Mhm.
And so I like easy because we're all busy, and I like affordable, and I like getting a lot of bang for my buck. And so one patch, I can grow new hair. Not only is my hair thicker, but it actually grows. In the last 2 years, it's been incredible. I mean, people that know me for the last 10 years, they can see the difference in my hair just when I walk, in the room or whatever. But not only am I getting hair, eyebrows, whatever, on the inside, I'm my colon's working better, my pancreas is working better, my heart is functioning, my brain is working, my skin, my wrinkles are going away. So I don't have a counter full of creams. I don't have all the different things that some people might have to do all those things. One
Mhm.
patch, 12 hours a day. And I hydrate and I use Celtic sea salt. I use minerals every day. And I get to benefit in so many areas.
Wow, I think there's so much that we can learn from you because I am intrigued, and it's one of those things of like, how does it work, right? So we always want to know that how does it work, but I'm sure you'll be sharing part of that with us because you are also one of our guest experts that are going to be talking about health and wellness with us in the month of December. So I look forward to that as well. Now, I know in previous conversations, you've called regenerative health the holy grail of anti-aging. So let's
Fountain
go
of
there.
youth.
Let's go there. I mean, are we really talking about the fountain of youth, or can people actually turn back the clock in aging, or how does this work? How can they do this?
Um, our founder, the company, my company that is LifeWave, and our founder, David Schmidt, he's an incredible genius. He spent over 10 years researching and doing clinical studies. And of course, we have a patent. So the product do what they say because you don't get a patent if they don't.
Right.
But making the world a better place and having wellness is his reason behind what he does every day in the lab. And the clinical studies, they all of the data, and then we have physical evidence of stopping and reversing the aging process at the cellular level, the mitochondria. And then for those of us who aren't the science geek, the physical, you can take a picture. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who take a picture today and then get started and then they chart. This is, 3 months or whatever. And you're wowed. We have people men who have male pattern balding or no hair at all. And then they're charting and they got a full head of hair or, those kind of things. We have one testimony of a little boy who's cut the end of his finger off accidentally. And the dad took him to the doctor with the finger and insisted that the doctor reattach it. And after a lengthy conversation, the doctor kept saying, it's going to die. It's going to die. I will reattach it, but it's going to die. And the dad said, I understand, but I want you to do it because it's going to regenerate. And the doctor did, and they took pictures of it, the stitches, and the fingertip was attached, and it turned black and it started to die and then it started regenerating and now the little boy has no sign of having his finger cut off. He can use it and it looks like it never happened. And that's regeneration.
Wow. So you kind of answered one of my following questions, but the question that I was going to ask you is like, who can benefit from this? Children, adults, because I think when we think of age reversal, we immediately go to in thinking of adults. So who is this for? And like what kind of transformation or results are people really seeing when they step into this?
So everybody has stem cells, so it's for everyone. You don't have to have a dis-ease or be in pain or have inflammation to benefit. We have incredible miracles with autistic or kids on the spectrum, for example, who are nonverbal initially and have the other challenges of maybe sensory or those kind of things. And so it gives me goosebumps. And sometimes I even cry when I hear the stories because it's incredible to change someone's life so significantly. But we have so many stories of little kids, 4, 5, 7, 10 years old, who haven't spoken in years, starting to use words and then sentences and then communicate, come and interact with the family where they were more reclusive and standoffish, or be able to go to school or go on a trip or go out to eat in a restaurant with their family because they couldn't handle that before. Um, One gal, she has a special needs daughter that was like 37, and she had never gotten a hug from her daughter because she was born with severe handicap and she didn't have good use of her arms.
Hmm.
And after, I want to say it might have been 6, 8 months, something like that time frame, the mother got a hug from her daughter for the first time in 37 years. So anybody and everybody can benefit. I had another example. We have a lot of well-known doctors and medical professionals because this technology is so cutting edge. And the ones that have a heart to help their patients live well, they love this. And like cardiologists, neuroscience, all the different kinds of brain and neurology doctors, they love helping the brain work better. But one of our doctors, he's a functional medicine doctor in Florida, Dr. Stillman, his son was born, um, and as he was being born, Benjamin, in the summer, he was stuck in the birth canal a little too long. And the doctors were very concerned about the side effects of what that could look like on him and brain-wise and all of the things. And Dr. Stillman, he actually got a hold of David Schmidt, our founder and creator, and he spoke to him about patching and placement. And they patched Ben in multiple places with multiple patches. And all of his signs turned normal in just a couple days. He had no negative side effects that the doctor said that happens when that situation arises in all, patients of that nature. And so it's exciting, so you think a newborn, they're born with all the stem cells, but when you're having a crisis like that, adding a whole bunch of new healing power and the healing power of your body's light is very beneficial. And so, he's thriving and growing just like a normal healthy, what is he, like close to 6 months old now?
So, does it matter the placement of the patch? Does it matter of where you place it if you want more close proximity to the heart, to the lungs, to the kidney, or?
You can wear it anywhere. So in the clinical studies, they had study group A put it at the base of the neck there, and study group B wore it below the belly button. And so the results that were determined from those clinical studies speak to the fact that, where it was placed. So you can wear it there, or you can put it on the point of pain if you have pain, if you have inflammation. We have uh, people get rid of migraines so easy, and sometimes like when it just comes on, it's unbearable, and they'll just stick the patch on their temple or wherever the pain is. And usually within minutes the pain starts going from a 10 and decreasing down to 1 to 0, and then when they start wearing the patch every day, their migraines go away and they don't come back.
Wow. Okay. This has been an eye-opening conversation and one that I know I'm going to continue with you offline because you got me thinking now in so many different ways, and really just interested in learning more. And I know that our listeners that are tuning in are also going to walk away with this whole new perspective on really what's possible in their health and vitality. So for anyone who is listening right now, please go ahead and connect with T if this is something that, intrigued you, that you want to learn more from. T's also, like I said, going to be one of our guest experts in December. And I don't know when this episode's going to air, but make sure that you catch T when she's talking, when she shares her information online, and really find a way to connect with her if this is something that is of interest to you, because I know just this topic in itself is something that is close to everyone because everyone um, goes through something and everyone is, I mean, going through the aging process, right? But for those that do want to connect with you further, T, what is the best way to reach you? I know you're inside the group, but any other ways for them to connect with you?
Sure. On Facebook, I am T.A. Dohrer, Dohrer. Facebook wouldn't let me just be T. They just insisted that I have another letter. So you can connect with me that way. You can DM me, uh, and that's the easiest way to get a response quickly.
Beautiful. Thank you again for joining us and sharing your wisdom on health, on age reversal, on just regenerative health as a whole in the space that you are an expert in. And to everyone that's tuning in, remember this, your body is a healing machine, and the
Absolutely.
words and belief that you carry are powerful. So until next time, keep aligning with your most beautiful life. and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you, T.
Thank you.